Hello, thanks for coming today. This is an important time in the development of the San Diego State University athletics program. Last year, 9 of our 18 sports programs made it to postseason play. One of those 9 programs that didn't make it was football, and it hasn't made it since 1998. When the Director of Athletics position at San Diego State opened up last November, I researched the program and was very impressed with the coaching staffs that were in place and the staff overall. One of the key coaching positions in any athletics programs at Division 1A is the head football coach. It's no different at San Diego State University. Coach Hoke, in his second year with the Aztecs, has transformed this football program into one that is capturing the interest of the students, the faculty, the staff, alumni and friends of San Diego State, as well as this entire San Diego community. Both Brady and I feel that this is a program that can compete for conference titles and bowl opportunities at the highest level. I'm pleased to announce that Coach Hoke and SDSU Athletics have agreed in principle to an extension of his current contract. There are a few finishing touches to be finalized, so we'll not be releasing the document or specific details today. You'll all receive those once it is completed. I will, however, outline in general terms what's covered in the agreement. This is an extension which will have Coach Hoke under contract through the 2015 season. The extension will also increase his base pay as well as alter his bonus structure. You all need to know that in my meetings with Coach Hoke, they were never about his salary or compensation. They were about other items that Coach Hoke and I agreed were needed to continue the development and success of the football program, as well as the entire athletics department. Plans are being developed to move forward in each of these areas, but they are in no priority order. Assistant coach retention, football practice field renovation, refurbishing of the athletic center facilities, hydrotherapy improvements in the medical training area, and a number of items that I won't list today. We need to continue to move forward with our facility upgrades and improvements. John Moores and the students of San Diego State have made significant investments into the athletics facilities over the last 12 years, this building being one of them. They're in constant use, they're in need of sprucing and renovation, and so this is part of our football excellence plan. It will require some support from external sources. And last week, a challenge gift from a local family was noted in the newspaper, and that has jump-started that effort in a significant way. At the appropriate time, that family will be recognized, but you need to know that that gift was in the works before all of this, as far as the football coaching staff and Brady's tenure here, before it developed later in the season. Now, I would like to turn it over to the Mountain West Conference Coach of the Year, Brady Hoke, for a few comments, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Good afternoon. See, usually when I say that in this room, they say good afternoon back because this is where our players meet. But, number one, I want to thank President Weber. I want to thank Jim. And we're humbled by their show of support for this football program. I think the direction that this staff and the kids and their work ethic and what they've done, it humbles us that their belief in the program. Jim and I have had very productive conversation during the course of what our goals are and what we want to do as a program and winning Mountain West Conference championships. And going beyond that. And if that means BCS and all those things, that's what we're all in for. We look forward, to the challenge that we have in the Poinsettia Bowl, and I mention that because that's part of the progress and part of the development that you need to have to establish the kind of program that we all want to have. The continuity of staff is a true indicator for the experience of your Division I schools, and we want to have that continuity for these players. And that's an important part of it, and that was a very important part of our beliefs and where we want to go as a football program and the development of this team. Jim mentioned a few things about some of the upgrades and the facilities and those things, and I know when the time's right, more of those things will be outlined for all of you. But we're excited, and this is a great day for us as a staff, and we're excited to be here and the great things that should come ahead.
What does this tell the kids that might be thinking about San Diego State? What does it tell the community about your commitment here and where this program is?
Well, hopefully, Jim, it speaks loudly that we have a real belief in the direction of the commitment level to football. I think, what we want to do as a staff and what we want to do as a program and the direction we want to take. I think this is a support of that, and this is a commitment to it that, again, I think President Weber and Jim, and I really thank Jim because Jim's been great to work with through all these different things that come up when you're this time of year.
How much of a temptation was the Minnesota job?
To be honest with you, I had one conversation, and that was it. To be honest with you, John, I mean we like what we're doing here.
Coach, we can assume your salary might be going up. Is the buyout going to go up too?
I love that question, but I haven't written a check since 1980, and like Jim said, I never brought up my salary. So I really don't know what's in it for the future, to be honest with you. I mean, it wasn't about that, great, humbled, all those things, but it wasn't about that. I've got a great staff, and from the weight room all the way through, and those guys do a tremendous job for these kids and making sure these kids get a Division I experience. And that's, at the end of the day, everything we do is for the players. And that's where it's got to start.
Jacob, you got married in 1980?
Yes, I did. Very good, Nick. You have the same problem. See, I see Nick at Costco now and then, so exactly the same.
Coach, when rumors were flying around that you might be leaving, what were you telling your players?
I wasn't. I mean, you can't, it's a silly time of year or whatever you want to call it. I mean, those things always come up. And if you've had a little bit of success, and we've had a little bit of success, I mean, we're far, far from where we want to be. I mean, we haven't even scratched the surface. So we got a lot of work to do and a lot of work that we're looking forward to do here in San Diego.
Did any of them ask you if you were leaving?
No. I mean, we had one conversation one day. I told them where things were, and, that was it.
Coach, you talked about how much work there still needs to be done here at this program. How have you been able to change the mindset of these young men who for so many years have suffered through losing seasons? What's been your barometer? What makes you tick to make them better and motivate them?
Well, it takes a lot of people, number one, from how we view how you lift in the weight room and the discipline and the accountability. From, the coaches that we have, I think the seniors have all done a tremendous job, both groups, of laying a foundation. And we're big on respect. We're big on accountability. We're big on those things, and we talk about it. We just don't talk about it one day and then the next day we're on to something else. I mean, those are things that are awfully important to any successful business or anything, is the accountability and respect you have for each other. And that's kind of where we started it from.
Did you notice, you've been out recruiting a little bit, I take it, right?
Yes.
Have you been hit with any of that from the recruits or their parents?
Sure. Yeah, I've talked to a few of them. And, that's always, delicate to some degree. But, the one thing that we've assured them is that, we went out and recruited their son with all the intention to coach them and develop them and to make sure that, number one, academically, we push them to their highest level. Secondly, that socially they're going to respect their name and who they represent. And thirdly is obviously in our minds is how we develop them in the athletic field in the game of football.
Does that make your job that much harder when this kind of stuff comes out?
I think it does for everybody. I think that'd be a great question for Chris Peterson every year and Gary Patterson. This doesn't happen very often, Nick, or hasn't happened a whole lot in my circumstance.
Coach, you had a chance to get maybe a job with a BCS conference. How important is it to get the Mountain West to that level? Being here at San Diego State, we've got some good football teams coming in, losing some good football teams who've had great reputations over the years. How important is it to coach in a BCS conference?
Well, I think at the end of the day, and it depends where your goals are. And obviously, it would be a tremendous thing to play in a national championship and not playing it, but win it, And for us, I think this league, you mentioned we're losing some teams that kind of held the league together. Well, now it's our turn. And it's our responsibility at San Diego State and the Aztec Nation to hold this league together, and that's what we look forward to.
That multi-million-dollar donation from that one single family to help develop the football program, just your thoughts on that?
Well, obviously, we're very, can't think of a better word, but humbled that someone, thinks that much of San Diego State University, number one, from an academic standpoint and athletic standpoint, and we're excited about it.
Hey, Coach, can't help but notice the turnaround here has been so much quicker than at Ball State, but you did turn that program around. Were there parallels? Are there parallels? And how much of that experience did you take into this job? And what can we gather from those numbers?
That's a good question. Every situation's a little different. The grass isn't always greener. I can tell you that. And, I think there were some similarities when you looked at things that I think are important, the toughness of your team, the discipline of your team. But I think every place is a little different. And, I think obviously you become a better candle maker if you're making candles, the more you do it, I don't know why I thought of candles there, but maybe something more masculine than that. But it's my soft side, Jim. But no, I think, anytime you do something more, you make some decisions. And I think staffing is a big part of it. And like I said, I think we're as fortunate as anybody to have the guys we have.